Hey, welcome back to Karen's Papercraft. Thank you very much for watching. Wat leuk dat je weer kijkt. Dankjewel. Remember the card? Well, today's video is about, ta-da, the box that will hold the card and the envelopes. And it's a two-part video today because in the second half I'm going to show you how you can turn a standard C6 envelope into one that fits the card. So come and join me if you want to find out how you can make these lovely cards and the box and the envelopes yourself. I'm afraid I still can't show you the inside of the catalogue because that is not supposed to go live until the 6th of September. But I can show you the front because these are the stamp sets and the dies that I've used. It's the Joy of Noel's collection and it's really lovely. So, the card. I showed you that in a video last week, and I will link to the video on how I do the colouring and the stamping. But I've got more of these cards in a box and then an envelope that has the right size for the card as well. So today I'm going to show you how you can make the box and how you can make the envelope. Now this is a prototype, and here I thought I would stand just looking at it, but I discovered that not everywhere are my stamps exactly in the middle where I want them. So here I tried it out with marking with pencil lines, and that's what I'm going to show you today. You need not, of course, but well, in my case it's better if I do. I'll start by showing you the bottom piece of the box, and this is shaded spruce cardstock. It's a reinforced box, so I'm going to show you how you can do that. And the size is, let me think, 8 1/4 by 8 1/4, which in centimetres is 20.8 by 20.8. And you're going to score this on all four sides at 7/8 of an inch and at 1 3/4, or in centimetres at 2.2 and 4.4 centimetres. I've already done two sides to make the video a bit shorter, so I'm going to show you with the other two sides of the box how you can do that. So the first score line is going to be at 7/8 of an inch, so that is just before the 1 inch, and then you score, and then you move your cardstock to the 1 3/4 inch mark. In centimetres 2.2 and 4.4, and then you rotate, and again for the final two score lines, 7/8 of an inch and then 1 3/4. So this is what you have now. Then you can fold all these score lines, and with a bone folder you flatten them. That's really important so that you get really crisp corners to the box. Makes it look better. And then in a minute I'm going to show you how you can cut and stick the box together. Now, loyal viewers of my channel have seen me make boxes like this before, so that's no news for you. If you think you don't need to watch all of it, just jump to the next installment in the video. It's all time-stamped at the bottom. Okay, so what I like to do is first cut my two sides of the box so that I don't confuse myself. So here, at one end, it doesn't matter which end because this is a square box, I'm going to cut up those score lines as far as the second score line, and then I do the same thing at the other end. So just straight across. You cut up those score lines, and then I'm going to cut the corners. I've noticed that if I don't do this, if I complete one corner first, I tend to confuse myself. So this is what you have now. Then I'm going to fold this one in for a minute to show you what I'm doing. Here, this long part, I'm going to wedge. Just a tiny wedge. I'm really only cutting away the score line, and then this one you shorten and you wedge. And here the wedge can be a bit bigger, that's no problem. See? Then I go to this end. Again, here I'm going to cut away the score line, shorten that one, and wedge it. Then you have this part left, which you just give a tiny wedge here as well. Okay. Here again, you cut away the score line, and then you cut away those angles, and again this one too, and let's not forget about this one. Okay, and then the final flap that you're going to tuck inside the bottom. This needs just one more snip. Okay, so if you're wondering why I have these reference points on my grid paper, I will tell you in a minute when I start doing the lid of the box. So this is the box, the bottom, and I'm going to use tear and tape because that shows up really well. You could use your Seal Plus if you wanted to, but here for filming the backing paper shows up really well. So I'm going to put tear and tape on the part of the box that need it. And oh, I should tell you that this is how you put it on your work surface. So you first start by sticking in those two flaps, so you want those two horizontal. You could use, as I said, your Seal Plus and stick things down as you go, but this will show you. Now, so you take away the backing paper and you fold that flap in, this one too. Now what I like to do first is fold this over and then fold these little flaps in. They curl in automatically, then it's easier to stick the box together. Then this end you remove the backing paper and then you can fit the corners together. I'll show you. So and then when I fitted it, these lines nicely flush, I give it a slight press to make sure it sticks down. And then you can fold this one over there, so like that, see? And then you repeat at this end. It's as easy as that, really. Looks complicated, but it's not. And you get a really sturdy box, and I like sturdy boxes. And also, just let me get rid of these bits of backing paper first. Okay, and I was saying you get a nice edge to the box. It's sturdy and this looks really finished, and that's what I like in a box like this. So you push it together, and here too you make sure that these ends are really nicely flush, and then you can fold it over. And with your bone folder, my tip is to use the rounded end, not the pointy end, because otherwise you might damage the bottom. You make sure that you really press down well so that the glue can adhere really well, because after all it is a box. So this is the bottom part, which is the right size. It is 4 3/4, or if you like 12 centimeters across, which is a nice size for the cards. Then I'm going to continue with the lid. I've already cut it and scored it to save some time. Sorry, excuse me. I'll give you the measurements. The lid is 7 3/8 by 7 3/8. In centimeters, that's 18.7 by 18.7. And you score this at 5/8 of an inch and 1 1/4. In centimeters, 1.6 and 3.2 centimeters all around. And now then I'm going to show you why I have these markings on my grid paper. I figured out where the center point is, and then I'm going to use a ruler to put pencil marks on. They help me with getting all the, I'm looking for a pencil now, they help me getting all the stamping right. So here too, this is the middle part, so I'm using the cross on my grid paper as a reference. There's no need to put pencil marks all across. And here you've got two flaps. This one folds in entirely, and this one is going to be showing on the side. So here you're going to put a pencil mark as well, and halfway, so this was 5/8 of an inch, so yeah, well, you can eyeball it. It is 2 for 5/16 of an inch, and in centimeters, oh god, that would be, that's my ruler. See if I can figure that. Oh, I could use my hang on, I can use my chart. 5/16, that is about, is that okay? 5/16, yeah, 5/16 would be about 8 millimeters, 7.5 millimeters, something like that. So I'm going to put pencil marks there as well, all around. And the last one. And then I'm going to extend that line a bit. Oh, this should be a bit, I hope the camera picks this up, by the way. It helps me to get the stamps on the side straight. I'll show you. See? I just think it looks better. And if you use really faint pencil marks, that's why I'm afraid they won't show up on camera, but they are there, believe me. And if you use faint pencil marks, you can always erase them. Okay, the stamping I'm going to do in speeded up version, because you can see in the other video, or when I make the cards, how I do this exactly with explanations, because I'm going to use masks and stamps. This is the one that I need, and this is the other one. And from Christmas Classics I want this one. Okay, I'm going to use 3 inks, Real Red, Oud Olive and Shaded Spruce, and I'll do the main stamping in Shaded Spruce. First I'm going to put this on the block, and this one too. This is an G block and this is an E block, okay, and I will put that little one, I'll put it on an A block. Oh well, I have another G block handy here, so I'll put it on there. Okay, so first of all, in speeded up version, the stamping, I have put these pencil marks on the cardstock so that I can use that point of the holly towards the score line and stamp. Then I'm going to put my masks on and continue stamping. You can see that I've used my masks more often, and you can. And when I'm absolutely sure that the ink has dried, I can remove the, oh, there's a piece of mask there. Okay, well, when you use a mask over and over, you may tear it after time because it does get soaked with the ink, but that just happens. You could always cut a new mask. I'm going to use the blender pen and the 3 inks I mentioned to colour in the wreath on top of the box. And again, I'm referencing the video which I'm going to link to later on to show you how I made this watercolor effect. I'll show you just one. I'm going to finish off this lid and then I'll be back with you. So I have finished all the colouring. I have erased my pencil line, so there's one really tiny pencil line there. Okay, and then I'm going to put the lid together in exactly the same way as I put the bottom together. So you fold and burnish. I'll speed up for that, so I'll still show you what I'm doing, but you have already seen me do it before with the bottom. So this is exactly the same. Right, I put the bottom back in and you can see that it's a beautiful fit too. So even when there are cards inside, the box won't fall open. Okay, then the envelope. To turn a C6 envelope into one which is 4.5 by 4.5, that is in centimeters 11 by 11. This is how you can do it. I'm going to use my trimmer for that. First you're going to do some scoring, and you put your envelope in like this, and then you're going to score it at 15/16 of an inch, and I'll show you. If you have inches, there are 16 smaller parts. Well, you can't go to 32 and even smaller, but that's not a measurement anyone works with, at least if you're not a scientist or someone like that. This is the 1 inch mark. If you move 2 of these markings down, you get 7/8 of an inch, but I want the 15/16. I'm not going to count all the time until I'm as far as 15. No, I just take 1 inch and I'd say to myself, it's 1 down from 1 inch, so that is 15/16 of an inch. That is 2.9 centimeters for those who work in centimeters. So you go to the 15/16 of an inch and you score. Then you move it to the left to the 1/4 inch mark on the trimmer. There we go. And you cut. Okay? And then you repeat at the other end. You score at 15/16. You move it to the 1/4 inch mark and you cut. And now your envelope is almost square. There's a little more cutting to be done because I'm going to cut away, I'll show you, this part and that I'm going to leave. For that I'm going to put it onto my trimmer, and you can see where you've scored, and I can only show you the top part because the bottom is off camera anyway, and I'm going to move it slightly to the right, so I'm going to put the score line not on the groove but just next to the groove, and here at the bottom I'm checking that I've got everything straight. Okay, and then I'm going to cut as far as that score line. So you cut and you can see where you're cutting, lift it up, and then from the bottom you cut up to the other score line. And you repeat at the other end. So you put the score line just to the right of the groove, the bottom part too. You cut up as far as the score line. That's just out of camera, I was checking that, but I can show you here the top part. And you cut as far as the score line. Okay, so this is what you have now, and then all you have to do is wedge these. And you can glue the envelope together again. One tip, where you put the glue, Don't put it in the wrong place because there'll be glue sticking out. First I'm going to fold this score line. But folding it is not that easy because the paper is thin. See, you fold these score lines in and then you can fold that one over. And so put the glue not there, but there. And I'm using my seal. You could use Seal Plus or you could use tear and tape, whichever you prefer. Seal Plus will do in this case. Then I can hold it down, flip this over, and hey, you have a beautiful little envelope that can go into the box and which is large enough for a card. Well, I think that my box and the cards and the envelopes will make a really nice Christmas gift for someone. Perhaps someone who's asked you to dinner, who knows? All the details for this video and the measurements and everything are on my blog, and the description is in the description box below. No, not the description, the link. The link is in the description box below. Oh, it's one of those days. If you'd like to see more of my videos, there are some suggestions there, and one of them of course is the video on how I do the colouring and the card. Well, that's it then. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Dankjewel voor het kijken en tot ziens. Bye!